Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing the Franck Muller Long Island Imperial Tourbillon, and you've probably noticed that I don't feature a lot of our Franck Muller watches here on the channel, and the reason for that is that most of them are fairly self-explanatory. 3 hands, an automatic soap rod or ETA movement, and some sort of vintage evocative case. So I normally devote my attentions and energies to watches that have more of a story to tell and require more explanation, and this is one of them. The Long Island collection, named after my homeland, came out in 2000, and the watch you see here features a movement that was developed the next year. This was all part of the tail end of Franck's actual involvement in the design process at the company, so it's made all the more impressive and important for those reasons. So the Long Island here is actually 32.5 millimeters across, not including the crown. It's only 11.6 millimeters thick. It's 54.7 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and has a 24 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll zoom out a little bit and see how the Long Island wears on a Long Islander. And as you can see, it actually wears fairly large. It's a big watch, there's no doubt about this. Then again, with a name like Imperial Tourbillon, you would expect it to have an imperious presence, and it does. It's not too big for me, but I'd say if your wrist is any smaller than 16, and mine is 16 centimeters circumference, you're gonna wanna look for a smaller Franck Muller. Now the watch is substantial. You can really feel the heft. It's all white gold. It's large, it's beautiful. It is many things, but what it is not is busy. And you can see that starts with the strap. Super thin, none of the bolstering or stuffing you typically get on a watch like this. It really is just like a thin leather belt with gator on the top in large rectangular scale, a sort of matte black with a monotone stitch. There is a narrow sheer cut edge, a calfskin on the bottom. You can see this is a Jean Rousseau strap. We love these. They're the OEM strap provider to FP Journe, among others. So we like to order our Jean Rousseau straps for these watches, Franck Muller, including a lovely white gold pin buckle to match. And then the case, remember I said it is spare, and you'll see the lugs are tiny. Lugs that are welded on, inserted into the slots, the evidence of the weld then removed by hand, so you can get this nice sharp break between lug and case, making for a seamless and dramatic transition. So this is a very laboriously crafted case. The other thing you'll notice is that there is no separate bezel structure. This is a monoblock case, so everything loads through the back. The dial, the movement, it goes in through the back so that the front can be totally seamless. There's no seam or break between bezel and case band. You have the Franck Muller logo on the crown. You'll also see it on the case and the buckle. And on the dial, the first thing I need to shout out is that this watch was clearly designed for Gatsby's nighttime gala affairs. You remember from The Great Gatsby, the peak of the Roaring '20s, the West Egg and East Egg locales? Well, all of them were on Long Island, and it was the flourishing era for Art Deco, then a very new and exciting style. And that's sort of what we get right here, albeit with maybe a little bit of Art Nouveau, the prior movement sort of mixed in. But the fact that it's loomed at all is bewildering and actually really cool. Now taking a look, you can see that the dial base actually has a very subtle guilloche. It's not easy to see in this light, but it's more evident in person. You'll also note that the tourbillon is a flying tourbillon, so there's no upper bridge to block your view. You get the full benefit of enjoying its many minute details, and you can see that the logo actually is also the shape of the carriage itself. Now we have a combination of beveling on the edge of these components. We have engraving by hand across their top, and you can see there's satination across what appears to be a Triovis-like micro adjustment mechanism. that holds the stud. It is a 1-minute tourbillon. It beats away at 18,000 vibrations per hour, and it's very vocal. Here at this range, you can easily see the guilloche pattern on the dial, but this tourbillon is the kind you can hear across a quiet room at night. Turning it around, you can see that we have a spectacular caliber FM 2001-2, so it is fully engraved with extravagant motifs, and you can see the edge of every bridge also mirror angled. The anglage, or the beveling, is first rate. We have a similar mirrored treatment inside every jewel and screw sink, and the screw heads themselves are black polished with chamfered slots in circumference. There is satination on the wheels, and then you can see the back of the barrel itself has been hand engraved. So all of this is really quite impressive. 30 meters water resistant, and the individual numbering has even been hand engraved, a detail I happen to love. The watch movement, the FM 2001, after the year it debuted, is manual wind with a 60-hour power reserve. It beats away at 2.5 hertz. It pivots on 21 joules, and Franck Muller declares in an engraving that this is a full adjusted movement, which means it's either the chronometer standard of 5 positions or the superlative standard of 6 positions. So reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.